What is up, guys? My name is Wardog3 and welcome back to another review on the Su-25 in Ace Combat Infinity. So without further ado, let's get into this. Alright, so just saying right now, I'm not a very big fan of this plane, and this review will go quite quick because of this, but without further ado, let's get into the stats right now. We've got the credit price, which comes in at 57,120 credits. Upgrade costs are also fairly cheap for levels 1 to 10, but they do get very expensive once you go from levels 1 to 15. Talking about the speed now on the Su-25, this is pretty abysmal. It comes in at only a B+ at level 15, which is absolutely horrible. Many planes will outrun you and outgun you, as well as this fact that the aircraft has no afterburner, which is even worse. This plane is painfully slow and a huge downfall to the reason why I don't really like it. The design is another reason why I think it is way inferior to the A10. But anyway, moving on to the mobility, this is pretty average, coming in at a B+ at the level 15 upgrade. Not bad for an attacker, but not the best. You can get better. Coming in at the stability, this is pretty high at A at the level 15 upgrade. Although the F4G Wild Weasel and the A10 are much better, coming in with better stats at the level 15 upgrade for stability. What, mate? Anyway, getting back to the air damage, this is a C at the level 15 upgrade. Don't try and use this aircraft for air-to-air. You will not have a fun time at all, especially with the fighter damage penalty that comes with any attacker, and the aircraft stat on the air-to-air is pretty bad anyway, so don't do it for air targets. The ground stat, however, fares a bit better at level 15 upgrade of A, which is pretty good. It's not the best for any ground attacker, but it's pretty nice. You'll see a pretty good difference when you fly it versus a level 1 attacker, should we say. Probably the only redeeming feature of the Su-25 is that at the level 15 upgrade it comes with an S+ stat. As you know, this is extremely high and you will be able to soak up tons of damage at the level 15 upgrade, although it is pretty poor at F+ in the beginning levels. Now, the best role for this aircraft is to leave it sitting in the aircraft shed. Yes, I did say that, and I'll explain why later. Right now, we're going to move into the part slots, which come in at a horribly low 11 on the body, 13 on the arms, and 12 on the miscellaneous. This is extremely poor and a huge, another horrible downfall of this aircraft. Going from levels 1 to 5 to 6 to 14, the Su-25 gains 2 additional part slots for 13 on the body, 15 on the arms, and 14 on the miscellaneous. This is still really bad, and you will notice that you still need lots of part slots to make this aircraft worthwhile. And then, of course, for the level 15 upgrade, which you probably shouldn't do, but again, we're going to go back to that later, you get 1+ on each slot, which is 14 on the body, 16 on the arms, and 15 on the miscellaneous. Now, getting into the other redeeming feature other than the defense on the Su-25, this is its special weapon loadout. At level 1 you get the 4 AGM, level 4 you get the UGB, and level 7 you get the MGP. This is actually quite good. MGPs are great for ground targets, unguided bombs are for clustered targets, and then the 4 AGM is also pretty good for multi-targeting or whatever kind of ground pounding you basically need. They're extremely versatile. As I just said, overall, this special weapon loadout is actually very good. It's just too bad the plane it's equipped on is actually horrible. Since you probably won't want to be using this plane, I don't recommend using anything, but if you're crazy enough to try, I recommend that you use the 4 AGM, as the ground attacker bonus will help you out a lot, and you get lots of missiles to spam everywhere. Now, what do I think of this aircraft in general? I think it is a horrible aircraft that you should not be using, and Namco shows no love for it in any way, shape, or form. Don't use this aircraft. The F4G is way better as a beginner aircraft, and this is basically just an A10 wannabe if you ask me. There are no special variants on this aircraft, as I just said, because Namco does not show any love for it and only has one special skin, which is pretty ridiculous if you ask me. But basically, this aircraft is a lame duck that nobody likes unless you find that one creepy, well, maybe not creepy, but smart, daring guy that decides to actually fly this plane in actual co-op, and there are so many other aircraft that are so much better than it. Like I just said, I blazed through all of this because I do not really like this aircraft. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think you should buy it. It is not a very good aircraft. I'm sorry, you Russian fighter fanboys or attacker fanboys or whatever you want to call it, This aircraft is just not very competitive in this game. There are so many other great choices. The F2, A10, and F4G all surrounding it are so much better, and you should be using those instead of this aircraft. Basically, everything about it sucks. The speed is pretty poor, and it has no afterburner. The mobility is pretty average for a attacker aircraft, which could be better. The only redeeming features of it are the defense and its really nice special weapon loadout, but that doesn't overcome the reason why it's so bad, which is also because of its part slots and its stupidly lame stats. Now that we reached the end of the review, I can stop talking really fast for a second. If you guys are using this aircraft, I don't want to stop you, but I don't think you should be using this aircraft because you are putting it at yourself at a really big disadvantage. I highly recommend anything other than this for an attacker. This aircraft, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but it's just not very good. So that about wraps up the Su-25. It's not really a plane worth using at all. I don't know how many times I can say it. Unfortunately, it's not very good. Not spectacular. Not good. Bad. Bad, I'd even say. Abysmal. No, that's a little too rough. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the fast review. I'm sorry if I just hurt and ripped on your own plane food, but that's how it goes. This isn't a biased review or anything. I know I'm an F4 fanboy, but I'm really seeking the truth right here. This really is not a very good aircraft. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time on the F5E review. Hope to see you there, and enjoy the rest of the gameplay, which is my score trying to use this not so great aircraft.